I'm Steve Adler, and I'm Editorial Director of the Professional Division of Thomson Reuters. And that's a new position that's designed to bring all of the news capabilities of the company to the professional customers of the company, and that's in law, healthcare and science, and tax and accounting. And I have a career in mostly print journalism, although I've also worked online, Business Week, Wall Street Journal, and I was a long time ago was editor of the American Lawyer magazine. I'm fascinated by the Ideas Festival because, first of all, it gives you a chance to be in Aspen, which is about the most beautiful place I've ever been. And I just find that a work life in New York City is so intense and so focused on what you have to do every day and what you have to do tomorrow and your to-do list, which is always too long. And you don't always look at the big picture, and you don't step back and say, what's really important? What do I need to be thinking about to be smart about what's going on in the world? What people do I want to connect with who are doing interesting and exciting things? And they all come together here, which is very exciting for me. Well, one of the things I was thinking about today was that a lot of the biggest problems we're talking about here are really hard to solve, and they're enormous. You're looking at nuclear energy, nuclear warfare, you're looking at the degradation of the environment, you're looking at the economy, and you're talking to policy people and you're dealing with kind of giant problems that require giant solutions that are really hard to reach. And I found it really powerful in a few cases to look at some much smaller, much more human situations, and that have been really tremendously inspirational. And so far the conversation that I was most excited about involved work that's been done in the New Orleans school system after Hurricane Katrina. In this particular panel we had a high school kid named Troy Simon, and he'd been living this horrible life prior to Katrina. He'd been stealing, he was carrying a gun, he was smoking dope, and he couldn't read or write. Dog and cat were the only words he knew. And after Katrina, the work was done on the school system where people came in, Teach for America came in and volunteered, a program called College Track came in and provided after-school services to help people do better in their lives. Charter schools were developed, and it turned this kid's life around. He started to learn to read and write, and he discovered he was a writer. He loved to write, and he started writing beautifully about the situation with Katrina. He was discovered by some people here at the Aspen Festival. He became involved in writing programs, and now he's going to go off to college. And I just found it so inspirational that a small group of people could commit themselves to improving a school system that had been a disaster and make an enormous difference. Now, this was on a very small scale, and I'd love to see it happen on a larger scale. But it was so powerful to be in the room with that boy, Troy, and to realize he was going to go on and live a really productive, exciting life. I'm going to head back to New York with a clearer head, a better way of looking at the big picture. I think I've gotten mired in details, and this is going to help me think about big themes. But one of the lessons I'm going to bring away is the importance of the personal in communications. The most effective panels here, the most effective conversations have really grabbed you on a much more emotional level. It's not just the intellect, it's not just the policy, it's how it affects real people. And I think we're in the intelligent information business, but that also means we're truly in the communications business. How can we reach people on a fundamental level? And in all of our work, I think it's going to be important to remember that you have to reach people in their hearts and their souls and not just appeal to their minds.